Don't talk to me like I'm your friend. In your tone, in your mannerism, in your delivery. I'm saying I'm not your actual friends. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Like, don't catch yourself slipping like that. That's called respect. And I'm very much about respect. Respect gained by respect delivered.
Yeah.
Especially when we're trying to clean up your mess for you. So if you want to get angry or sulk or get moody with yourself.
Yeah.
Be grateful and appreciative. I come from an era, right, where when big people come in the house, yeah, I'd have to go to my room. That's the era I come from.
That's what I do.
Yeah, but you go to your room because you got social anxiety. But yeah, you should go to your room anyway. Right now, that's my space, and your mum's space to cuss you freely. It's a bit awkward if you're there. Why do you think you can, though?
Nah, I just got frustrated.
With yourself?
Yeah.
How can you get frustrated with me?
You're just getting angry.
You know, my mum taught me this. You know, to be a liar, right? You have to have a good memory.
You was wrong.
I wasn't wrong. 100% I wasn't wrong. I don't have nothing to gain or benefit by winning this battle. Like, please have some respect for my intelligence.
Yes, my friends. I found this channel, Father and Son's Convo. And this gentleman really understand the dynamics between father and son, but also father and child, more importantly. And I really love this brother and the way he delivers a message to his son. I have to speak to my daughters the same way. And this, my friend, is another conversation that we're going to have. And I want to basically have a sort of a part 2 from the video I posted day before yesterday. I didn't post yesterday, man. I was burnt out. I had to take a break. It was my fasting day. You remember, I always told you guys, I always practice fasting once per week. And usually, if that fasting day drops on my leg day, where I have to do legs and fast for 24 hours, it usually wipes me out. So all I'm saying is I took a break yesterday. And I tell you that because I'm just telling you, man, I'm a very disciplined guy when it comes to trying to get results, whether it's from my health or whether it's being a father. And I'm trying to teach my daughters discipline. This father is explaining to his son, hey, I'm not your friend. I'm your father. I have told my girls that many times growing up. Don't talk to me like you talk to your friends. That's a sign of disrespect. And like I shared with that video yesterday with that 23-year-old talking to her father like that and calling him a liar and recording him and the brothers. If you guys haven't seen that video, definitely go and check it out. But be warned, if you're a father, that's going to trigger the hell out of you, okay? But you will learn some very valuable lessons from it, so I think it's worth looking at. So my friend, before we get into it, please like this video. This is going to be another teaching moment from the older man. And go over and pick up one of my digital products, either the Content Creators Toolkit. Start making your own content today, whether it's a book, YouTube channel, or a course. All the information is there for you to either take it from conception straight through to marketing. Okay, all the information is there for you to do your research, etc. It's a lot of information. But if you want to take the easy way out and purchase content that's already created for you, whether it's website, courses, templates, it doesn't matter what it is, pick up the Digital Vault with over 8,500 pieces of content you can use today. All you have to do is personalize it and it's yours. Okay? So I want to read a few comments from this conversation this father just had with his son, because it's always interesting to see other people's opinion. Big Man Stan said, you go to your room because of social anxiety is facts for Gen Z. Oh my God. Laughing. Yeah, that's true. A lot of Gen Zers, man, they have a problem with this. And it was amplified because of COVID. And simply because they grew up with social media and all of this texting and so on. They don't have a lot of skills for, interacting IRL. For the older folks, that means in real life. Yes, I know the lingo, man. This internet thing will educate you fast. Dr. Edaga says 10,000%. Also, I can tell your dad don't beat you, so be grateful. I don't know, man. I don't know. He probably threw some licks in him in his early days, and the son now realized, yeah, you don't step out of line with daddy. But I could see that that's a man that would, spank that bottom a few times and straighten him up, man. Because when boys come out like this, where they're calm and relaxed. They know where the pecking order is and they don't step out of line. William Zion says, little buddy lucky because all that smiling mid-conversation while your elder is speaking is mad. Yes, back in my day, you don't freaking skin up. You don't skin up when your father talking to you. No. Why you laughing at? I said something funny? Something funny? Blood clot. With a belt there. With a belt. That is what I would get. I don't freaking crack a smile. Don't look at him straight in the eye. I drop my gaze and I nod. Yes, daddy. Yes, daddy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my response. No giggling and talking back. I take the lesson. And when he is completely finished, daddy, can I ask you something? Yes, what is it? Well, when you said this, that's when I can talk. No talking back. You're mad. No. Hell no. That's how I grew up. Nowadays, I got to have a full-fledged back and forth with my daughters because they swear that they're not given their rights to talk. Ah, man. The Black 007 said, this kid's got his dad showing him the ropes straight up. I can remember being his age. That little smirk alone would have gotten me cracked next year. Exactly. Well, seriously though, his dad deserves some serious credit for keeping him on the right path. He's learning valuable lessons that'll serve him well as he grows into a great man. I Am Daria says, bro, this is being sent to my son right now. Plate you used to eat your puffin chest to go and wash. Get moody with yourself. Okay, I didn't get that, but I'm glad to see that the information is being shared by other men. The last one, Annie Wu said, favorite line from my father, fix your face or else may I go fix it for you. Or you want to visit the dentist? You want to visit dentist? That's obviously a Jamaican right there, man. So all I'm saying, gentlemen, you have to fix your daughters and sons early in life. Otherwise, the ramifications of them being the worst version of people in society will come back and bite you.
What started as a fight between students outside a local high school quickly spiraled into something far more serious. As two females were being handcuffed, a woman stepped in, claiming that one of them was her daughter. But instead of calming things down, the situation got even worse. That was the moment backup was called. Sheriff's deputies rushed in to help as the confrontation escalated. The community was left shaken, raising questions about student behavior, respect for authority, and just how safe school grounds really are, even after the bell rings.
Whether it's to the family name and your reputation, or whether they're the ones that's supposed to take care of you but simply abandon you or take from you even more when they get older. We're going to stay in the UK. This is some information that you guys have to understand.
If you want to be successful in England, rule number one, do not move out of your parents' house. It doesn't matter what everybody tells you to move out, do not do it. Sacrifice 5 years.
Yes.
The problem young people have is that the poor impress the poor because we are poor and we're impressing another poor person to look rich, which is backwards.
Yeah.
That is an absolute fact. Do not move out of your parents' house before you're able to have substantial amount of funds accumulated in order for you to get into yours. And this doesn't apply just to England. This applies to anywhere else in the world. It's only in America where At 18, 19, everybody's looking to leave the parents' house to be on their own. You know, over here in the Middle East, man, sons, daughters, they don't freaking leave. And you wonder why Muslims accumulate so much money. Because they share everything. I got a gentleman here, man. I know one of the locals here. Still living with his parents. 40 years old. 40. The man has 2 rental properties. Built 2 rental properties. Still living at home with his parents. Taking care of the parents. He's not married. He don't have to move out. But he's respectful. They all get along. And they understand the hierarchy of the home. Still respects his father. So, I got to take my father to the hospital. I got to take daddy here. Taking daddy. That's it. He just takes care of his parents. Properties bringing in shitload of money. The parents already paid off for the house. Have other homes as well. Can he move out tomorrow if he wants? But why should he? Every single dime he makes just goes into investments. The younger generation tries to grow up too early, and they try to impress people who don't give a shit about them. That's the problem we have in today's society. I'm talking to the young generation. If you learn, if you respect your parents and you learn to live with them and you contribute to the house, if you're working, you make sure that you put a little bit of money into the rent, into the utilities, which is far less than what you would be paying on the outside. Far, far, far less. And you stash away all of that money that you're accumulating. You invest it. 5 years later, man, you're in a good position. Got to read a few comments on that because this is what people are concerned about. Highway guy said, what if you have to leave your parents' house to save yourself? This is always the issue, man. Everybody always go to the darkest of the darkest part of existing with another person. Same thing you always say with living with a man. Oh, what if he's abusive? Reality of it is, most people, especially people who love you, don't react like that with you. People are not your enemy. People are not there to freaking destroy you. You're not saving yourself. You probably outside of yourself, and your parents identify that. I'm not saying that there's some freaking unbearable parents out there, but I'm telling you, the majority of people, mother, father, son, mother, daughters, fathers, daughters, they live in harmony. It's when the kids don't take a level of responsibility and are disrespectful to the parent, don't contribute anything. But if you learn to get along with your parents, trust me, it's the best thing that you can do. Someone responded to that person. Then leave to save yourself. In life, you must always put yourself first, and there lies the problem. Self-love is the best love. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Self-love basically means I'm going to be selfish. And listen, let me repeat that. It depends on what you define as self-love. Taking care of your physical health, taking care of your mental health, understanding how to get along with people is more important. But thinking that everything must go your way is not self-love. That's selfish. And most of the time, people are always referring to the fact that things aren't going your way. Mommy and daddy isn't doing what you want. So please do not confuse self-love for selfishness. We're adults here. Let's realize that there's a distinct difference between the two.
One guy's a mentor asked me a very important question. He said, Gabriel, how much do I need to earn a month for me to move out of my parents' home? Very good question. So I broke down how much it costs me to live in a 2-bed flat in the area of Croydon. And for those of you who are wondering what Croydon is, if you've ever watched The Lion King, there was a scene where Mufasa was on the cliff with Simba. And he said to him that, you see that piece of land where the sun does not shine? That's where you don't go. That is what Croydon is. It cost me $13.50 a month to rent this 2-bed flat in Croydon. About £100 a month for council tax. On the screen now, you're going to see a pie chart breaking down exactly how much it cost me to break even. And I want you to digest this. It cost me £2,730 every single month for me to break even. I've not bought a pant. I've not bought a singlet. I've not taken a babe to the fish of sexy. No strawberry daiquiris or mojitos. It cost me £2,730. So I'll ask you, how much should someone be earning before they decide to move out of their parents' home? £2,730 is roughly about a £42,000 a year salary. The median salary in Croydon is 46k. And for a lot of us, the reasons why we wanted to move out of our parents' home is because we was beefing them like the Montagues and Capulets. You want to bring a story to the crib. I remember being 19, paying my mum rent, and I think everybody should pay their parents' rent and contribute something to the household if they can, especially if you're on a full-time job. I remember giving her something like £300 a month, and I told her one day I was going to bring a story to the crib. She said, no problem, but make sure you leave that bedroom door open. And I said to myself, how will I suck breasts if that bedroom door is open? You're demanding £250, £300 a month from me, but yet you're treating me like a child. And this is where the contention starts. And I ask you a question. How much should someone be earning before they move out of their parents' home? Should you be paying off a landlord's mortgage or pay off your parents' mortgage or even contribute to the rent? Even to try and buy a one-bed flat in the area of Croydon, it will cost you 300 bags. That's 300 bags for plasterboard. And all they keep doing in Croydon is erecting these tin can flats that the big bad wolf could easily just blow over. But for a lot of us, that is the easiest way for us to get on the property ladder. But then let's talk about service charge, which is probably one of the most heinous crimes known to man. Because you'll be paying this service charge, you don't even know where this money is even going. That lift that has been broken for 1 year has not been repaired, yet you're paying service charge. You that lives on the ground floor is even contributing to that service charge. You don't even use the lift. Let's even talk about ground rent. Like, buying a flat is probably one of the... it's tough because it's probably the easiest way for someone to get on a property ladder. And the saddest thing is that you'll be paying rent equivalent to the mortgage of that flat. Yet they'll say that you don't qualify to get a mortgage because of your earnings. It's rough. Have a fantastic day.
I hope my American friends understood the slang. But pretty much he's saying $2,700 to move out of your mother's house to get an apartment in literally one of the worst areas of the UK. And if he wants to bring a little thing home, if he wants to bring a woman home, the mother will insist, you got to keep that door open. And he's trying to latch on to a titty. And he can't do that in his mother's house because that's considered disrespectful, right? And this is another thing that I have to discuss because at some point, as parents, we have to be realistic about sexual activity amongst our adult kids. For example, I got two girls. One of them is 19. What do I do if she wants to have sex? Do I stop her from having sex in the house? Because I'm thinking like my father and back in the day? Or do I just ignore it because I know that kids have been having sex back from when they were 17, 16, 14, 13 years old in the back of some car or in the park somewhere or some dingy, dirty, nasty place. So their experiences are disgusting. Most of us have been there, back of the car, anywhere that there's some level of privacy. We know. We as adults have to think about what we did when we were that age. So now, fast forward where sex is more liberal and kids are doing it younger and younger and younger. What do? Lock my child out of her own bedroom, the safety of her bedroom? Or do I force her out onto the streets? I'm sorry. I have to be logical. I have to say, hey, you want privacy? Lock your door. I just don't want to hear it. We got to have the hard conversations. I just said, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know. Whatever you do it quiet. I'm just saying, man. But to say to your child, yes, you can stay here, but you got to be a child, doesn't make sense. I cannot in good faith say, hey, I'm going to treat you like an adult in one respect, but when you behave like an adult in a sexual way, then I have a problem with it. That does not compute logically. So as parents have to understand, we need to make a freaking choice. Is it your baby or is it your adult that's staying with you? You take the pick. Because if you treat an adult like a child, you're going to have serious contention in the house. And that's not fair to the person. You get my point? This is a real channel and you got to hear real conversations here, my friend. Let's read a few comments from him. I Moonwalked on Goal said, I had to contribute £50 a month and I had the nerve to be vexed about it. I wore audacity a de perfume back then. Oh, the good old days. Yes. Your parents usually don't even ask you to contribute that much. And you tend to bitch and moan because you've had it so good for so long all your life. You think that your parents should just give it to you free. But no, you have to teach your child responsibility. Have to. Here's a mother who's complaining.
I am so frustrated, and today is the day that I mean what I say. I don't ask these kids for much. I barely ask them for anything at all. The only rule I have in this house is to keep my house clean. And then you're cleaning up the mess that you made, because I wasn't the one who made it. I got up to the trash overflowing, the dishes overflowing in the sink, the dishwasher is full, every bathroom that they use is messy, their rooms is disgusting, and everybody's sitting around here chilling like nothing is wrong. So am I your maid? And I'm not the mom that start off yelling and screaming. I asked them nicely, get your room clean, do the dishes, wipe off the countertops, make sure somebody take the trash out. I get up and y'all still ain't do shit. What I'm not gonna do is yell and scream today, because that raises my blood pressure. Y'all are not gonna drive me to the grave. Since they think I'm a joke, I'm gonna show them who the joke is today. I am leaving. I'm not telling nobody I'm leaving. I'm leaving through the garage, and I'm putting my phone on D&D. Don't ask me for nothing. Figure it out. Y'all can't listen to me. This your house. You figure it out. I'm leaving, and I'll give y'all an update when I come back. It's either this house is going to be burnt to hell, or somebody going to learn their lesson, and they going to learn that they need to appreciate me. I'll keep you updated soon.
Yeah, you see, that's what a woman would do. Father would just kick them out of the house. If they're kids, of course, you can't kick them out of the house, but there has to be some punishment. The comment section said, turn off the Wi-Fi. You'll see how fast things will get done. And that is absolutely right. You switch off that Wi-Fi, you take the freaking doors off the hinges, you take away the electronics, you'll see how fast stuff gets done. That's what I did, man. So this 19-year-old demonstrates the ideal man on the up and up. But some of you have judged him too harshly. But after we listen to it, I'll give my 2 cents.
And I've never been to a club. I'm 19 years old and I've never been to a club. Never been to a house party. I don't even know what the inside of one looks like. Most people hear that and think I'm missing out. Bro, you've never had a crazy night out? No. I probably drank less alcohol than a teenage girl on her first night at the club. And you know what? I do not regret it at all. Now, I'm not going to be one to sit here and say I'm better than the people that decide to do this. No. We have our own choice. My choice is to be on self-improvement. I'd rather wake up early, work on something that actually moves my life forward. My dopamine doesn't come from red cups and drunk texts. It comes from watching myself level up day by day. The other week, a friend asked me to go out. Yo, bro, it's my birthday. Everyone's going out. It's going to be lit. I told him I was busy. Busy doing what? Listen, bro, you might not get invited out. You might feel like you're missing out right now because you're not going to these clubs. You're not going to these parties. You're not getting drunk every Friday and Saturday night. But let me tell you something. If you made it this far into the video, chances are you're like me. That is not a bad thing. It might even be your edge. Right now, it seems like everyone's living it up. Some people peak in high school. Some people peak at 19 years old. Me, I'd rather be the one they forget now and cannot ignore later. Because in the end, it's not about who starts fast. It's about who stays locked in. It's about who plays the long game. And in the end, time will tell.
He has a point, but I like to play what I call the 80-20 rule. Grind for 80% of the time, but then I got to know that when I got to hang it up and say, hey, listen, let me balance this out with a little bit of fun. 80% will get you there very, very, very fast. But 100% will burn you out, and you will be so one-sided in your whole social structure that it could hurt you in the long run. So that's why I will always teach the 80-20 rule. And I apply that to pretty much anything in my life. But to be that focused on one end, yes, the chances of you becoming a top 1% man is very high. But it might not. But the probability of it happening is higher. Someone who do 80%. But most people, and that's your yardstick, you, by applying 80% into the grind, are ahead of more than 90 to 95% of the people, because most people don't even try that hard. Most people don't even put 50% effort into grinding and getting ahead. They fall in the bottom 20%, 20. So you're beating everybody who's doing 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79%. You're beating them. You're ahead of the game by that much. So learn the balance. What do they call it, 80% rule? Is it the Parado Principle?
The same thing in my house. You have to get out my house. I'm sorry, I don't know where you're going to go, but you can call your mama and ask her, can you come back down?
You already know she don't want me with her, so why would you even...
I don't care. You keep doing the same thing. You keep doing the same thing. I send you to school, you ditch your school. You steady calling these little boys. I
don't even talk to nobody.
Look, I told you to stay away from these little boys. We're not going to keep doing this. I'm not going over this no more with you. You have to get your stuff and get out my house. Yes, you have to figure it out. You gotta figure it out. I'm tired. Call your mama right now. Call your mama. See, that's your problem. That's your problem right now. Your attitude. You're only 14 years old. Call your mama. Here. Call your mama right now. You gotta get out my house. I'm done. You too grown. You're only 14 years old. You steady doing the same thing. I found weed in your room.
That wasn't even mine.
Who weed was it?
You know my friend was over there last time.
That's your problem. You hanging out with these little fast ass little girls.
I told her not to bring it in.
No, you steady lying. That's your problem. You need to stop lying and go to school. All I asked you to do was go to school. I buy you everything you want. And you steady crying for what? All you got to do is do the right thing. But pack your stuff and get out of my house. You can leave now.
14 years old, with boys, bringing weed in the house. At some point, the father got to put his foot down. Got to go stay with the mother. The problem that we have here, it's a house divided. Once again, we have the same problem. Girls acting up because they don't have a stable world to exist in. This affects girls more than boys. Women have a higher degree of neuroticism, meaning they respond more negatively to anything that isn't stable. They need stability. 14, I would not throw her out on the street. She can go and stay with her mother, but that's just going to make her worse. She's going to have less discipline around her. The mother is not going to be able to handle her. If the father can't handle her, the mother can't handle her. I'll read a few comments from this one. Quasar said, let fathers be fathers. He's right. She needs a reality check. Sir Andrew Ross says, he's not wrong. It's called tough love. Prince Divas says, yes, her dad was right. No child will live under my roof and disrespect me. Ridley YD says, this is what happens when the government takes your rights away to discipline these kids the old school way. Henry Justice says, my mother kicked me out when I was 16, 17, and that was when I finally fully respected my mother because I saw how much she really was doing for me. I humbled myself a few months later, came home, and we've been best of friends. Yes, usually all it takes is a reality check for these kids. Troy Taylor says, real question, how many parents we have in these comments that dealt with this? Also, please state the solution and results in your situation. Midval Social Club says, she's not grown. She's 14. She's still a baby. Ground her. Take away her phone. Don't let her out except for school, but don't kick her out. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you can't destroy, a 14-year-old like this. You put her out on the streets. The streets are going to eat her up. All it takes is one slick pimp to start telling her how to make money and he loves her and he'll take care of her. And all of a sudden she's stuck in some whole house doing the worst of the worst. Yes, my friends, it's a hard thing dealing with kids, man. But I'll end it with this one. This is when a father, I can see he's Asian, I can't understand his language, but we don't have to understand him to know what he's going through. Since no one wants to clean up, Ooh, my man crash out. Oh, God. Even the spice rack and the plants had to go. My friends, for all of us who are parents, we get it. We understand this 100%. But we just got to keep our cools and realize that this is part of parenting, man. It's hard. It's not easy. And that's why actually a lot of these younger generations just don't want to have kids because they see what they put their parents through and they see how bad the young generation act. A lot of them are too selfish, self-centered, because that's what we have created. We've created a generation of selfish, self-centered individuals who don't want to put any effort into bringing forth the next generation. So this is where we are at. But I hope that this video was able to help a few of you understand how to deal with your kids. It requires patience, my friends. Kids, if your parents have shared this video with you, please understand. If you want to go into your adult life well-grounded, having enough money to survive to adulthood, having enough money to get into your late 20s and 30s, be good to your parents, cooperate, understand how and why you have to work with your parents in order for you not to be thrown out of the streets. Because I can tell you, most of you won't have a job with AI coming up soon, and you won't have much choice. I'm telling you, it's going to get rough. So discipline yourself and work with your parents. Stay in your parents' house, like the gentleman suggested, at least 5 after you leave school. Build up enough resources, but in the meantime, you have to contribute back to your parents' home in order for them to feel that they're not being taken advantage of, and it helps to soften the blow of their bills as well. Because when you're in the house, you are incurring expenses, the electricity, the Wi-Fi, the water, everything. These are things that you have to pay for, and it will teach you how to be an adult in the long run. Okay? So my friends, please like this video on the way out. I know it's a little longer one, but I think it's part of what we need to educate ourselves in order to move forward in this life. Okay? So till tomorrow, my friends, remember, whenever in doubt, always, always ask an older man. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.